Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm a wedding photographer at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. Welcome back to the first official episode for 2026. I did drop a little bonus episode yesterday, but this one is back to the usual format with an amazing guest. I wanted to quickly remind you that my giveaway to win your wedding photography covered by me is open until the end of this week, while entries close on Saturday the 17th of January 2026 at midnight, with the winner being drawn on Sunday the 18th. So make sure you enter now if you are recently engaged and you're still looking for a photographer and you connect with my work, then I would love for you to enter. I will pop the entry form in the show notes and you can find everything over on Instagram as well. On today's episode, I'm joined by the incredible Trish Peng. You might have recently heard her in the bonus episode I dropped, as she was an amazing guest speaker at our event last year. She is a bridal designer, business owner, and true powerhouse in the wedding industry. Trish is someone so many of you will already know through her iconic gowns and her Auckland boutique. But today we're diving into both sides of her world, her experience as a bride and her journey building a globally recognized bridal brand. We start right at the beginning from a full circle love story that spans her 21st birthday, Fashion Week, and a very well-timed Hinge match, through to a surprise proposal and planning a Queenstown wedding while running multiple arms in her business. Trish shares what it's really like designing not one, but 4 wedding dresses for her own day, navigating expectations as a designer bride, and balancing creativity with logistics. We also zoom out to talk about life as a dress designer and business owner, how she built her brand, what goes into designing collections, the realities of running a fashion business, and the advice that she gives brides day in and day out. This episode is full of honest insights, practical advice, and thoughtful reminders about staying true to yourselves, whether you're planning your wedding or building something of your own. It's such a good one. I'm so excited for you to hear Trish's story. Come on over to Instagram to see some photos from her day and her recent collections. Enjoy episode 127 with Trish. Thanks so much for joining me on the podcast today. So excited to chat to you all about your both experiences, being a bride and a vendor, and a bit of a powerhouse in the industry, I would say. So thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, really excited to chat all things wedding.
Amazing. So to get started with, we'll talk a bit about your experience. If we could just go back and you could tell us a bit of the story about how you and your husband met and your life together.
Oh, sure. Okay. So we to make it shorter, we actually crossed paths back when I was 21. He was like a +1 at my 21st birthday. And it was one of those like, hi. And then crossed paths again backstage at Fashion Week, I'd say 5 years later, when he was doing suits with Rembrandt, and I was backstage showcasing at Fashion Week. And we were like, hey, how are you? And then fast forward, it was Hinge, the dating app that we rekindled. Does that remember me? So that was 10 years later.
Wow.
And then the rest is history, and fell in love and got married. Yeah, I'd say, or engaged a year and a half later, and then married almost 2 years ago now. Time flies.
Crazy. Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long already. So sweet though, a little reconnection, just the right timing for you guys, I guess.
Exactly. All about timing.
Yeah, so you dated for a while, got engaged. Can you tell us a bit about the proposal story?
So my birthday's Christmas Eve, right? So I always like to be surprised. I'm always like, just don't tell me, but it's a cute surprise is nice. And so he used that as like, okay, I'm going to blindfold Trish after a beautiful brunch with my family. Then took me to the Domain, and I was blindfolded. But I had literally no clue as well, because he had not even like suggested or hinted. We spoke about marriage, but I had no idea what was happening. And then all of a sudden he's took the blindfold off, and then there's a whole picnic display, like picnic at the Domain, and And then he's like down on one knee, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And my friends Lana and Cam are filming it. So yeah, it was so beautiful. It was just the way, it was just perfect for the two of us. Yeah.
Oh, so sweet. And got the surprise
Yeah.
factor there then.
Yes. Birthday surprise. It got
Love
me.
that. So good. So you'd obviously been working in the industry a while. Had you been that kind of girl that dreamed about your own wedding? Did you have sort of a vision in mind for what you wanted? What are those first steps sort of
Yeah,
look like?
absolutely. So I mean, like wedding wise, I always wanted the dream would have been Lake Como, right? An Italian wedding.
Of course.
But I feel like I got the New Zealand's best version of an Italian Lake Como wedding. There was a pond.
So
Yeah.
good. Love it.
And so I guess there was a little bit of pressure with the dresses. Yeah. It was one of those at the time designing them. What do I do? What does a wedding dress designer wear? So I ended up deciding on 4 dresses. So
Why
one of
not?
them was a first look dress, which I hadn't seen anyone do before. It was when I had that first look moment with Tim. I was wearing this like fitted beaded number, and then he cue the tears, cried, and then I surprised him by walking down the aisle in a different dress, a more grand ceremony. That one took 600 hours actually.
Wow.
Right? Then wore a like chic high neck number with like a bow for the reception, and then a fun little mini for party time.
So good. I love that. You definitely had all the different looks. Yeah, I guess there would be that expectation on you being a designer. And yeah, obviously, one of the most important elements of the day. Was there anything else that you kind of like were your top priorities while planning?
I think, well, the suit. So Tim and I around the wedding, because he already had that background in suits, we decided to launch his suit brand called T Big Tailoring. Tim Big, and then if I changed my name, I'd be a T Big as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the name comes from. So yeah, it was trying to launch his suit brand alongside the wedding, so it's actually quite a lot.
That's on.
Yeah, but then just trying to. I think part of the fun is organizing the wedding, and a lot of Kiwi brides do it, and they have an on the day coordinator. But I worked with One Fine Day Weddings, and they were incredible because the venue that we got, we were the first to get married there. It was a private estate in Queenstown, and it was a blank canvas. So we literally had to bring everything in from the, what do you call it? The
marquee.
The tent, the marquee to the toilets to generators to every little like spoon and fork. So the logistics behind that was quite a lot, but they sorted that, whereas I got to like do the pretty stuff. I wanted to aesthetically look like this.
So good. Oh, they're amazing. I've had Kim from there on the podcast as well, who's incredible. And yeah, their whole team's so good. And yeah, you kind of touched on the dresses there. Had you sort of been designing them in your mind, or had that sort of vision for a while of what you wanted for all of them? What did that process look like? I assumed you made them all yourself.
Yes, yeah. Me and my team made them. I think, gosh, the grand one, I was like, okay, this is your one time to wear an A-line. Let's go as big as possible. So that we put most of the detail into that one with the 600 hours, and then the other styles, I just wanted to like, I had too many ideas, so I did actually leave the other 3 to the last minute, so I couldn't change my mind, which is a lot of bride's dilemmas. You're like, oh, what about this idea, and oh, what about that idea? But finally was like, okay, it's cutting it close, Trish, can't change your mind. But I was super happy with them. Timeless, elegant, feminine is my aesthetic as a person and as a designer.
So good. You definitely achieved that. And you had a bridal party as well. Did you find that an easy process choosing them?
Oh, well, I had 6 bridesmaids. So Tim has a big group of friends. So he was like, can I have 6? And I always like an even number. So it's either 4 or 6. So then I guess you're like symmetry. So he was like, can I have 6? And I was like, yeah, no, I can make that work. So that was quite fun. And I for the dresses we did my iconic hydrangea gown, which is a dress that I had designed, gosh, when I was like going to balls, school balls, like that was like 15 years ago. So brought that back, but in a color that would kind of suit everyone. So that was quite cool.
So nice, looked amazing. And how did you find the whole guest list process? Was that quite hard to narrow down?
Ooh. Okay, so Tim and I made a rule that if we hadn't hung out with you in a year and you live in Auckland, then you don't make the cut, because you kind of have to be ruthless, right?
Yeah.
And we were quite lucky that we don't have a lot of family in New Zealand, so that the family list was very small, and so we were just a little bit ruthless, because like, let's say you have 100 people, really that's 25 couples each side.
Yeah.
Because they bring a plus one. So that's not a lot of people if you have a big family. So I always say it's also not a family reunion. It's your wedding.
So good. Love that. Great advice. Yeah, it's always one of the trickiest parts for people, but you need those little rules and be a little bit ruthless, I think.
Yes, exactly.
So good. I'd love it if you could kind of run us through the day, maybe that week leading up to your wedding, and any highlights or favorite moments.
Oh, yes. Okay. So the week leading up, actually, this is a horrific story. Okay, so it was like the week before, and I woke up with like 50 flea bites all over my body.
God.
Can you imagine? I was like,
No.
it was like, and I scar, like I am so allergic to like any type of bite that they swell. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm literally like every part of my arms and legs are like, it was awful. So I had to just not scratch, but yeah, so we had to like cover them up with makeup on the day.
Wow.
Day.
Wow.
So that, I mean, I'd say that was one of the most stressful parts of the wedding. But I'd trade that for like we got perfect weather on the day. So I was like, okay, no, I would trade that.
It's always
I'll
going to
trade
be
that.
something, hey? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So then there was that. Again, having the wedding planners were great because they logistically knew timings, they knew how everything should flow. One piece of advice I always tell brides is to make sure you allocate time for you and your partner, just you two. 15 minutes minimum, just you two. You go off and you hang out with each other, because actually the person you see the least on the wedding day is actually your partner, because you're greeting everyone. You're meeting, you're greeting, you're saying hi to everyone. So that 15 minutes just you time is so crucial. So it's such a magical moment too, because we went to the top of the house and just looked back, and you just like, oh my God, everyone's here for us, to celebrate us. So that was very cool. So I recommend that to everyone.
Do you want to give us like a quick overview of how the day went from kind of getting ready through, just like a bit of the timeline? Yeah.
So timeline, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So we got up with my girlfriends. We were staying in Arrowtown. So got a beautiful, beautiful house for us to get ready at. We had Kate Solly and Boutique Bride for hair and makeup.
Yes.
Then, gosh, the day goes so fast. So then photographers arrive and you're like scrambling to get ready into your first dress, but then logistically needed to get everything to the venue too. So we hired this beautiful car from in Queenstown and got to the venue, did the first look, which was a special moment. Cue the tears, like I said, with Tim. And then actually, we calculated wrong how quickly the guests would arrive from Queenstown, because the venue was literally only like in Frankton. So it was like a 10-minute bus ride, whereas I think in the itinerary we did like half an hour. Anyway, so the guests could see me in my first look dress, and I was like, no, but I was like, I'm getting changed anyway.
Yeah, so good.
so then yes, then we had the ceremony. Then it was a beautiful cocktail hour. Did the big Moet champagne pour to reception, speeches. I did a speech. Tim did a speech. And obviously the ceremony. Oh, we both cried. Oh, there was so many tears. So many tears. Beautiful, heartfelt wedding. Then my dad's speech was hilarious. Oh my God. So it was quite cute because he did a hilarious speech on my 21st. So everyone still remembers his speech from then. So then when he did another epic one at the wedding, it was just hilarious. Everyone's like, Peter. So that was quite cool. Then obviously party time. We had Jupiter Project DJ and then we actually had Sean Preston, the pianist. We flew him in from Wellington to play at the ceremony. Then fast forward, party time, I got McDonald's cheeseburgers for everyone.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a must.
Amazing. Yeah. And then partied the night away. So good. Any other like little highlights and things you want to mention there?
Having my dogs at the wedding, my 2 doggos.
Are they the ones that gave you special. The flea bites?
So the fleas were actually from our neighbours. The neighbour had like stripped all the boards from the weather boards, and like all these mites jumped on the dog. So yeah, no bueno.
Yeah, stunning timing from them.
Stunning, yeah. So yeah, definitely recommend having your doggos in your wedding.
Yeah, so cute. I love that. Amazing. And yeah, you mentioned a few things there, but was there anything that you found really hard about the whole wedding planning process, or that you look back on and regret or would have done a little bit differently?
I don't like to live with regrets. I actually wouldn't change a thing with the wedding. Like everything, there's always something that's not going to go right. So there's so many moving parts to a wedding that you just got to shrug it off. If majority goes well, then you're good. Yeah, you know? I mean, we just can't like a lot of the guests got like sunburnt, but it's like you wouldn't change the sun. You wouldn't change the sun, so you can't complain about that, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, I got sunburnt too. Yeah,
worth it.
No regret.
Did you guys have a set budget? If you're happy to talk about that, you don't have to if you don't want to. But how did you find that whole side of things? I imagine you would have known how much things cost in the industry, but
literally we were quite lucky with the dress and the suit. We're sorted on that front. But in terms of wedding budget, my gosh, it blows out.
Mm-hmm.
You think you have one, and then I think we blew out by like times 3. And we were very lucky that like because we're in the industry, we've got a lot of friends in the industry, so got looked after quite well, but still a lot. And it was in terms of covering the costs, it was like essentially I paid for the whole wedding. So yeah, it was tough, but I wouldn't change a thing. It was worth every penny.
Yeah, so good. You can always make that back worth the party.
Oh, exactly. It's a once in a lifetime thing,
For sure. Love that. Did you guys go on honeymoon straight away? I guess you were kind of already at a destination, but yeah, what did that look like?
I always tell my brides the brides have always told me about the wedding blues, and they're like, Trish, make sure you don't get it. And I was like, what is it? And they're like, when you get depressed after your wedding, because your whole year has been planning your wedding. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. So we pushed our honeymoon out 6 months. We had something to look forward to. So we did like a mini moon in Queenstown, which was so nice. We stayed at like Kamana Lake House. And then we went to the Maldives in July. It was so nice. So we stayed at the So Maldives. And that was, I would just recommend it to anyone. It's like, it's quite, people think it's quite hard to get to, but it's literally just you go to Singapore, and then it's like a few hours to direct to Maldives. So we went there again this year on the exact same day we went last year.
So
I think it's just a yearly thing now.
Tradition. You've got to do it again. Yeah. Love that. Yeah, so
Yeah,
nice. I think especially if you're kind of getting married in New Zealand summer and then having something to look forward to escape in winter as well. Why not?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you, I imagine, yeah, you already had kind of all your industry contacts and stuff, but was there anything that you used for inspiration or different resources during wedding planning?
So wedding planning wise, I found this like free templates from, I think it was the Bridal Muse. We can always link it, I can always find it. But it was a good little Excel template where I would just pop everything in. But in terms of a physical book, I used the Together Journal and Organized Life wedding planner. That was really good in terms of just ticking things off, ticking things off of what you need to sort and organize.
I'm sure we'll get into lots of advice, but do you have any little bit of advice as from a bride perspective, I guess, for couples planning their wedding at the moment?
To plan it around like you as a couple and be true to yourself as a couple rather than like doing something trendy that's like Pinteresty, like, and try do the styling quite timeless, but it's like it's about celebrating your love, you two. So I think just communicate about what you both want rather than like what your mum and dad or maid of honor wants, and just be true to yourself and start the process early. Actually, a lot of brides don't know that they need to start dress hunting at least, I would recommend 10 to 12 months before your wedding.
Yeah,
Mm.
so good. Great advice there. And what is married life like now? Do you feel like you got any of those post-wedding blues?
I'm quite lucky that with my business, like there's always something going on. So the wedding was just part of the business anyway. In a way, we're always talking about weddings, and I'm surrounded around all my brides' weddings, so I get excited for them. Yeah, I mean a little bit like, oh, that's so sad. It's so sad that my wedding era is over.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't still wear white to an event.
Yeah,
But
true.
yeah, it's I think everyone gets some sort
A
of it.
little bit. Yeah, totally. It's just like an end of a special season in your life. So, but yeah, it's great. You're kind of living and breathing weddings day to day.
Yeah, married life is great, and I would always ask my brides how, oh my God, how's married life, and they're like, it's literally the same. You're just
Yeah.
more of a unit.
Love that. So cool to hear about your experience a bit more. And I'm sure everyone's seen your photos floating around from the last few years. But yeah, we'll share some of those so people can see again. So good. And then, yeah, I'd love to chat to you a bit about the vendor side of things now. So if you could kind of tell us how you sort of got into bridal design, what's led you to launch your businesses. Yeah, a bit of background there.
I knew at the age of 7 that I wanted to be a wedding dress designer. And then I studied it. So I was at uni at Wycliffe College, and I was studying fashion design, but I kind of fell into bridal because I was making custom dresses for my friends and clients. And then naturally, people started asking, "Do you do wedding dresses?" And I was like, Sure, can do." And then I just kind of found my calling with bridal. So I officially registered the company in 2014. So that's over 11 years now. Time flies. So it's definitely not been an overnight thing. It's literally blood, sweat, tears. And so now with Trish Peng, we've got our Auckland flagship store with the pink doors and Greyland. And that's where brides will come in. They'll either book in with myself or my team. And then we have our collections that we design twice a year. And those you can either order as is or you can customize them as well. And you're like, oh, I love that top. Let's go. Then from there, we decided to wholesale our collections. We are now in 13 countries in 50 stores around the world, and just so that everyone can have a Trish Peng gown. We were able to do that because we went viral on TikTok. in 2022.
Wow.
And it was it's like got 17 million views now, but it was a model at our shoot. She was running and then kind of tripped up on her dress and then got mud on it. But I think it was maybe that shock factor, and that dress, gosh, it just took over. And that's what put us on the map globally. And now we're able to wholesale. Well, that was great.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. So then after that, we've got Yours Truly, which is in the same premise in Greyland, but just behind. And so that one, we started off selling pre-loved dresses, but we phased that side out now just because it was too much liability with having someone else's wedding dress and people wanting to try them on and kind of some of them getting like the wear and tear. So phase that out, but we still do the samples from other designers, and so those are like ready to go because a lot of brides decide to get married in like 3 months. And so those ones are just ready to go. And then we also have our Yours Truly collection by Trish Peng, which is our diffusion line, so more accessible price pointed collection that's made to order. And then the third brand is Teabag Tailoring, which is my hubby runs that, and he it's made to measure suits.
Makes so much sense. Very aligned, having both bride and groom outfits as well. And yeah, you guys are just wedding industry couple. I love it. And you still do a few fully custom brides as well?
Yes, yeah. So we do 10. I can take on 10 custom brides wedding season. So we're actually at capacity now for this season up until March, and then the next. Well, I guess to give everyone an idea, the wedding seasons are in New Zealand December to March, essentially.
Yeah, so cool. All the different offerings you've got and going global. Yeah, incredible to just see all your success, and yeah, love it. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, talking a bit about the design process, can you tell us kind of where your ideas or your inspiration sort of come from? What does that sort of look like when you're thinking about a collection?
Our aesthetic is always feminine, elegant, beautiful, with a like modern twist. So we like to design with the bride in mind. So I design with my team. There's 4, sometimes 5 of us that design, because those other team members, they take the bridal appointment, so they know what the bride wants. And that's very helpful, because you could design something like quite out there, but then you're like, no one's going to buy it. So there's a combination of like the winners, like that just everyone will want, very commercially sellable, and then the ones that are a little bit more quirky, more campaigny. And then sometimes our brides, like my custom brides, their dresses are just so fabulous that we ended up putting it in the collection and naming it after the bride. So the latest Chloe gown, that one we had a custom bride, and I was like, Chloe, it's just so fab, like everyone should have this. She's like, oh my god, you're right. So it was a last minute addition, like we don't even have a photo of it. Yeah, so that's quite cool.
Love that. And yeah, can you tell us a bit about the process for a Trish Peng bride? What does that sort of look like when they come in for the consult and then through to their wedding day?
Absolutely. So we like to have that personalized experience because we offer that luxury one-on-one. So you have the entire boutique to yourself. You can either book in with my team or myself. There's different appointment types, and we even offer like a deluxe high tea appointment where we've got Bluebell's high tea catering, and you really make the experience with, it's quite a beautiful experience. Champagne is always offered at every appointment, and from there we kind of guide you, because a lot of the time it's their first time trying, and it can be overwhelming. But it's just what's helpful is bringing inspo to us, like having an idea of what you like, what you don't like, both helpful, and then we guide you into what kind of suits you. So it's really just playing dress up. If you book in with me, sometimes it is better if you have tried something on before. So then if you want the sketch for me to sketch it up, then you kind of know what you don't want, and then I help you figure out what you do want. And it's quite, I always simplify it. It's really just figuring out your top and your skirt combo, and then figuring out your fabric. So if you break it down like that, then it's just a process of elimination. Then depending if you've chosen like a full custom gown, or you're customizing our collections, or you just one is just perfect for you, you say yes to the dress, and then we get you in around for the collections around 6 weeks before your wedding to start alteration. So actually a big tip that brides may not know is that most bridal stores, you say yes to the dress from the collections, and that is usually made to a standard size. Then from there, alterations would be additional, and you can get them through us, you can get them elsewhere, but everyone needs some sort of alterations to make it fit perfectly, from the hem to the bustle, so you can dance at the end of the night. You want to look snatched, so tighter. So there's always like little things here and there that need adjusting, but we offer that, and then we try to do your final fitting as close as possible to the wedding day so that it fits you perfectly. Because I always say Meghan Markle needed another fitting. She had a baggy dress.
So good. Yeah, I think that stress sometimes leading up to it, or your body can change so
Yes,
close to the day.
100%,
So
especially the month of.
Yeah, so good. So cool to hear more about that process. Are you finding people are opting for minis for later in the night as well? I feel like that's been happening more and more, and you guys have a really cool collection there.
Yeah, yes. So I think when that Avery gown of ours went viral, we at that same time we're at New York Bridal Week, we were one of the first designers to bring out minis into the wedding scene, and we still do it. And this year we've decided, you know what, let's just do a whole line for the minis. So Trish Peng, the mini edit, is coming out
cool.
this week.
Yay.
So that's exciting. Yeah, definitely. Because I think also the main dress is getting bigger, more grand, trains are longer, that they actually can't dance
Yeah.
edit or move. So they're like, oh, it's just easier getting a fun party mini.
So good. Love that. Are there any kind of trends that you've been noticing lately, or things that you hope to see more of?
Yeah, I'd say, gosh, everyone's still liking that kind of clean, minimal look. Ever since Meghan Markle actually got married, it's still around, but now it's changing it up so that there's a little bit more detail or texture or styling with like a neck scarf or the basque waist. Actually, when the basque waist came back, from the back in the day,
1800s or something.
the 1800s. Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that, but now I love it. It's so elongating on a bride. It's so flattering
in a modern way.
Yes. So there's that. There's chantilly lace again that's made a comeback. Quite classic. The last 2 years, A-line classic plain wedding dresses have just been the biggest thing, but now I found brides are actually going for more fitted dresses. That's making a comeback now as well. And yeah, just bits of everything really, but just choose one that fits your style.
Yeah, so good. I know a lot of brides kind of get overwhelmed with the whole process of hunting for the dress, and it can feel a bit stressed, and it can be quite like a vulnerable emotional process. Do you, and you would see a lot of that walking in your door as well, but do you have any advice for brides that are feeling overwhelmed about that at the moment?
Try not to go to too many stores, because some people go to 6 stores and then they get confused because they all look the same. Like all the dresses end up looking the same. I would say to bring those people who opinions you value, because you'll always have an opinionated someone in your group. And if you don't actually value their advice, sometimes they kind of push and also make like awful comments. We've had some awful ones. So just bring someone who you trust, who you value, and maybe it's just one person, and stick with your gut, and what you feel like you want, and definitely try styles. Don't be too like close-minded, because a lot of the time people say yes to the dress that wasn't even on their list, and didn't even think that they would suit. So just be open-minded. It usually is the curveball.
Yeah, love that. Such good advice. Do you find some brides are just coming by themselves to their try-ons as well?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So if you trust your gut, then absolutely. But I think sometimes it is good just having that one person as a sounding board of
Yeah.
what do you think? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fun to make an experience with the high tea and the bubbles
exactly.
and
Yeah.
enjoy it as well. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to kind of hear a bit about your day to day. I imagine no 2 days are the same for you, but what kind of, yeah, routines and mindset help you juggle everything you've got going on and, yeah, keep on top of it all?
Yeah, every day is different, which I like, spices it up. Um, I always I have to work out. I have to either do Pilates or F45 or netball. Those are the three. Because that definitely helps the mindset of if you feel good about yourself, then like you can take the day on, really. Um, every day is a bit different because I'm creative director, but I actually am more managing director. I do it all. So it's checking in with the team. It's checking in. Yeah, we've got the Trish Peng brand, the Yours Truly brand. Tim usually runs his own stuff with Teabag. But we've got the workroom, and it's sometimes fittings. It's new brides. It's all go really. All these, yeah. And then I've got my team overseas who run the sales. So we've got different territories. So there's three of them, complete different time zones too. So I've had to manage because I used to just get home and I'd be like, nah, nothing is urgent that needs to be sorted tonight, you know? But if they're a complete different time zone, then I do need to kind of respond. So I don't know. You balance it how you can. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. What is
Yeah.
balance, right? So
Yeah. And
good.
I'm very lucky that Tim so he's so supportive and so compliment each other so well. So when I come home, like, oh, sweet boy, like dinner is
Mm.
sorted, dinner is
So good.
made. So that definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, love that. Such a power couple. And then, yeah, it sounds like you have an amazing team around you supporting you too. So, so good.
Yeah.
Love that. You've given us so much amazing advice already. But yeah, is there any other advice you would give or one thing you kind of find yourself telling brides over and over again that makes a difference?
I think I've said them.
Yeah.
I can sum them up again. One would be your wedding is not a family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many. But yeah, so just really be quite ruthless with your guest list, I'd say. It's your day, celebrating your love. So yeah, you know, and put some rules in there of if, whether you've seen them in a year and they live in the same city as you. Um, then just make sure that you take that time out for you and your partner at the wedding just to soak it all up. Three, just be uniquely you. Do what you want rather than what everyone else wants or following the trends. Brides, book your start trying dresses on at least 10 to 12 months before your wedding day. Okay?
Early as possible.
That's crucial
Yeah.
because a lot of stores actually charge a rush fee, or designers, and it could be, less than 8 months, but you need time to decide. So that's why 10 to 12 months is an ideal time.
So good. So much great advice in there. It's been so lovely to have you on. And you're going to be joining us in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure when this is going to come out yet, but yeah, you're going to be at our in person event on the panel. So, so excited for everyone to hear from you there as well.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Lydia.